I am for moral rebranding.
We are for moral rebranding.
Nigerians are for moral rebranding.
The whole world is for moral rebranding.
On NYC Radio, 88.3 FM Abuja, and of course NYC TV.
Of course, the whole world is for moral rebranding. We are for moral rebranding. It's a moral rebranding show on NYC Radio 88.3 FM. I am Vivian Claire, and right about now we are about to change lives.
Here we are, and I'm joining Claire today.
All right, we're going to talk about the role of moral rebranding in shaping. I know you've been shaping the lives of Nigerians across the world. You've created so much impact. You've done so much great things. So, can you tell us about your work? Share your thoughts on our social media platforms at Ajuwaya Media. Let's get the conversation going. Of course, Mr. Matade, tell us.
All right, thank you very much, Claire and Victoria, for having me. Moral rebranding is a game changer for Nigerian youths as it helps reshape the values, principles, and overall outlook on life. At Matade NYC, which is in Kuje, and installing institutionalizing the fan club. We were actually there on Monday, and we did a good job with them, and the children were so happy. They were even calling for a recap. They told them that we are constrained because of time. There's nothing that can cause bad negativity on rebranding. But I just pleaded with them to play with us. Let's share with the other brothers and sisters in different schools. And last week again, I want to announce that we're in a Chara Prime Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to tell you, Victoria, that we have been able to install.
Yes. It's really amazing.
She's so excited to be representing us. Yeah. And then we also have another school that for having, they call it SETA. The full name is Service to All, the International School. SETA is in New Carol. And our new president there is Victoria Silvanos.
Victoria what?
This seems Victoria Silvanos.
Oh, it's not okay.
And she has even picked a number. She already picked a number there. She said she can't wait. I give protection to every member of my team. I see to it that the team treats every member fairly and with utmost respect and care. I eliminate favoritism, nepotism, tribalism, sectionalism, selflessness. I establish equity and fair play.
Yes. So let me ask, how can moral rebranding initiatives address the challenges of youth corruption and indiscipline in Nigeria?
Your question is a tough one, but then, there are a lot of factors that bring up or rather induce corruption. And sometimes it's really difficult to resist, especially in a country that is going through a lot of reforms. Like presently, you can see that there's a lot of, hardship because of some maybe restructuring coming up from further points.
Yeah.
But then if we say that by promoting transparency, accountability, and integrity, moral rebranding can help Nigeria. It's about self-determination. That's why we insist on this program on moral rebranding. But somebody has to lead. Somebody has to make a sacrifice.
Of course, thank you so much for sharing that. Someone has to make a sacrifice. And most times we find out that it's the leaders that make this sacrifice. They're the ones that affect the change in the community. So in your opinion, what are the roles of community leaders in promoting moral rebranding among the Nigerian youths?
Mentors and influencers, promoting moral values and creating opportunities for youth engagement and development. I had an encounter one time in one village. I went for a program, and before I went there, I had already discussed and sold the idea to one of the community leaders, a very young man. And one of my second visits again, I had a challenge of a lady who stays within her community, who was not properly, within appropriate dressing. I tried to address it there, but I met with a little bit of resistance. But what I did was to approach the palace of the leader. So the lady was invited. The leader spoke to the girl and we got a result, got an instant results. So it's part of the sacrifice.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because naturally would have told me what's my business.
Yeah, especially I had a situation where a woman was carrying her child, and then another woman said to her that, "Oh, why are you carrying the child like that? The child is crying, you cannot take care of your child." And the woman gave somebody the young one and said, "Take this child." Then she went to that lady that addressed her and gave her a very hot slap. This is a real life story. So some people cannot take that feedback. They cannot take criticism. They want to always be right.
Yes.
So approaching the community leaders makes a lot of
Yes,
sense.
that's why we need to collaborate with them on this. I met a young lady again who was not properly dressed. I called her on the passage after appealing to her. She quietly, especially maybe the newsprint, she removed it and thanked me that she thought that these things are good enough.
Wow.
But now that I've told her, she threw the newsprint away. Yes, as she even promised me. Her name is Favor.
Shout out to Faith.
And she promised me that she wouldn't do that. She was registering for a color in the camp for next month.
Makes sense.
Yes.
For sharing.
So like I told you, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Leadership comes with a whole lot of responsibilities and sacrifice.
Yes. And you face a lot of opposition. So
yes.
sometimes
you
can go through
stiff oppositions. Yes, very stiff ones.
Schools can incorporate moral rebranding into their curriculum.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about our junior schools. There are some basic moral principles that were really installed in us those days. We used to go fetch water for our teacher.
Wow.
Yes, we used to even go farm for our teacher in our school those days. Like I told you in Abakaliki, I schooled in a very interior. I'm a very native person. I'm not a township person. So I schooled in Abakaliki. Then there was no good road, there was no water. But what we had going for us was that discipline. So imagine after the school, you have to go and fetch water for either your school teacher or fetch firewood. So these are the basic principles, which I believe is really lacking in schools now. So that's why we are now reintroducing this program and starting from secondary schools to tertiary institutions to even adults.
It makes sense. It's of moral rebranding in terms of personal development. We've seen a lot of people go from 0 to 100 because of maybe family, because of school, because of environment. But for moral rebranding itself, right, how does it translate to personal development? Does it have any effect? Or what benefit does it bring?
It comes a lot. Which of these seed that even takes time to grow? You have to water it, take care of it, and I sit down patiently and see it grow. Okay, let me take pregnancy for instance. None of us came into the world the next day. I like being practical. I know that maybe the day my dad saw my mom, he persisted, the weighing and all whatnot. And then it took 9 months again for me to step into this world. You can see a period of not 1 month, not 2, not 3. So things like these, especially good things, take time to come up.
Promote moral rebranding among the Nigerian youth.
Yeah, social media has been a very strong media tool that people are reminded by a lot of things. So you see, when you go to TikTok, you see a lot of people, some use it to sell their products and whatnot. So but in this area, what we're trying to do is that social media campaign influencers and online platforms can disseminate positive messages, stories, and role models, inspiring Nigerian youth to adopt moral values. It's not just sometimes I get weak and I get when I told you before, when you go to the a lot of Facebook handles, you see people are making wrong use of the media. I know that in every good thing there's always a bad thing. But I want to advocate, and that's why we are talking of rebranding. I want to appeal to Nigerians, I want to appeal to Nigerian youths that we can still use the media, just like the question Victoria asks, for positive reasons, and which will give us a positive result by being positive and by being focused.
Okay, sir. That's so many barriers when it comes to moral rebranding. I've walked on the street with you. I've heard people shout back, like, "Why are you telling me what to do?" Rather. A lot of people grew up in a very loose environment. were not told what to do from the beginning. So what are some of these cultural barriers that you've personally faced in promoting moral rebranding among Nigerian youths?
Really gone through this, so I became well equipped, and I know each time you come up, I know where you're coming from. That's how I've been able to withstand it. Let me give you one instance before I go direct to your response. You know, when we were young, I used to stay with my stepbrother. I grew up with him. One thing about what he taught us that if we're in the sitting room, maybe we're having a conversation, maybe a family meeting, and instantly there's a knock on the door. So he expects you to stand up, go and pick the door, open it, usher the visitor in, and you clear from that vicinity immediately. Immediately. But don't go far, because the next thing is to call you to fetch a cola for the visitor. And they don't even go 7-8 meters in that sitting room. That shows a whole lot of, that's the cultural differences. Bringing children up from the family, that is applying cultural, how do you call it, solutions. And I grew up in a community that most of the times when they call a town hall meeting, I'm always there, to listen to how the advocacy for rural administration is being carried out. And then cultural barriers include traditional practice, just like what I said, full of the clerics in bringing up our youth, making Bible and the Quran references. But in this case, you have now seen that there is need for us to inculcate or to incorporate the traditional rulers. Though they will help a lot. Moral branding is not just up, it's from down.
Now, how can moral rebranding initiatives be tailored to address specific youth issues like substance abuse or violence?
I have been giving the nation a whole lot of headache because if you look at the indecent dressings or indecent attitude pictures we place on our banner, the first one there that's the substance abuse. Maybe that's cigarettes or hemp. It's because that's beginning of any vices among the youths. Once you start picking up the habit of smoking, it starts from there. One, smoking naturally is not good for you health-wise. Secondly, it's money consuming, waste of resources. And I want to commend the NDLE, whose this responsibility falls within the shoulder of the chairman of NDLE. They are doing a great lot of job, but they need to do more. Substance abuse is as a result of sometimes peer group. Sometimes you see that, how do you call it, bad influence. Sometimes you see that maybe idleness too could be part of it. And then in most cases, you see that some people feel that they want to make it as fast as they can. So somebody will now introduce you to, because some of the people who take this substance, some don't even look at it as an energizing thing. They see it as, but I know there was a time, they say one of the robbers was being interviewed. They say they cannot go for robbery without smoking. See, it gives them false hope. Imagine you are going for a robbery and you are smoking. Maybe by the time you get there, the thing expires. And by the time you are caught on the act, it expires. So these are the things. So
we know that people face family barriers, especially when they are doing things that are not ordinarily within this family scope. So some families might say, don't do it, do that. So have you faced any personal family barriers in your line of work at moral rebranding? Have you had to fight against family beliefs or values? And how can you further strengthen family values so that the goal of moral rebranding can be achieved?
Yes, I have. It's still an ongoing. The case of, I would want to mention the name and the location, but let me use the word dialogue. It's going on. Let me not use the word fight. It's where there's a division among the father and the mother against the subject matter. So the father is saying, no, this has to go. But the mother indirectly saying, mm-mm. And is bringing a whole lot of challenge. But there's some families we see that both the father and the mother, you know what I mean, rule together to achieve a result. I know, because this thing is not something you do in how do you call it, in abstract. There must be in dichotomy. There must be harmony. There must be understanding to achieve the result. And family values are fundamental to moral rebranding. Strengthening them involves engaging parents, promoting positive parenting, and supporting family-based initiatives. That's why I say that the families are the bedrock of moral rebranding. It starts from the home. It does not start outside. It is the after effect of the upbringing from the home to school when you are working. Because you do something, somebody will tell you, oh, this person lacks home training because of the way you reacted on issues in the public.
Your child woke up to you now and say, Daddy, I don't want to be a man anymore. I want to be a woman. I'm interested in women. I want to be gay or something. What would your reaction?
That's when they are talking about, is it BTN?
Yes,
LGBT. So that one actually is completely abstract from what we are talking, because that one is an indice for her way on that. I tell you, like what I was telling you, what this issue came up last week, we were in a family gathering and the thing came up. The man stood up and said, I am the man of the house. Whatever I say is final. In terms of moral rebranding and upbringing. Though the wife is the subordinate. He said, my decision is final on this. There are certain opinions that shouldn't be allowed to grow or even listen to in the house. The gender, the changing of a sexual destiny shouldn't even be heard. Yes. That is our stand on it.
Okay. So the next question now is, how can Nigerian youth be empowered to take ownership of moral rebranding initiatives?
It's no longer the youth for tomorrow. You said the youth are for today.
Yeah.
Yes. The Honorable Minister of Youth Development was there. Am I right?
Yes.
I've been seeing him on pictures through the internet and stuff like that. But that didn't give me the opportunity of assessing how old or how young he is. It's after the program, I saw him live. I said, wow, this is number one youth. So let's give him a shout, please.
Let's shout out to the director. Of course, he's the number one youth.
That's the Minister of Youth Development.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Yes.
He deserves it.
Yeah. And he addressed the press and he was about going. And when he wanted to hop into his car, I think Dixon accosted him and requested for a photograph, which he obliged. And then I was expecting him to go to the car. They should be chauffeur driven. But he was not driving the car himself.
I think he deserves another round.
Yes.
Let's give him another rebranding for Nigerian youth.
Through Said, I think we will be able to go home instead of waiting endlessly to who will give you the money, the dash. I think you start in something yourself. Create a platform for yourself. Open a business center. You can do something that can help you grow. But while doing that, you could still have opportunity of working the government if you can. Moral rebranding opens up things up, because the most important thing is that it gives you a clear vision of what you want in life. That's one good thing about moral rebranding. It makes you think, it makes you reason, it makes you realize who you are. While I've told you this, Shevali, I told you how, I think we've discussed it, how I used to carry plank at the site.
Yes.
I was carrying plank and they were paying me 5 naira in Jeba. Let me say loud and clear. That was about 1981. While carrying the plank at the site, I was still myself. I knew that my vision does not stop here. It was from there I was moved to National Assembly, where I worked with the late Dr. Joseph Wayas as the recording engineer in the Senate. So it gives you a broad mind. It gives you a way of thinking, of being, no matter how, there's a lot of potentials God has put in us that you don't need to begin to use those potentials wrongly. like going to maybe steal and do things that can tarnish your image. Rebranding gives you opportunity of investing in something that can take you for tomorrow.
Okay.
Because a wrong value stops you for today.
A wrong value as issues of unemployment and entrepreneurships in Nigeria.
Moral rebranding can equip youth with begin to attend, because some of us, when we were growing up, we didn't have the opportunity of all this maybe workshop training and all these things people had these days. We had it, I should call. Our own learning was more of technical. We just stopped in a class, come from the classroom. Maybe we were doing some other things. There was no internet. And you have to write ourselves, study the books. But there's a lot of opportunities for young ones these days. Go to seminars, you come back from church or from the mosque, you go to seminars, listen to programs that are very, very inspiring. You are engaging other fellow Nigerians.
Okay, it helps you build yourself.
Yes.
Yourself to become an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You know, that's very important.
Everybody's a leader.
Everybody is
A potential leader.
Even Victoria.
Yes.
Everybody is a leader. So thank you so much for that.
List of effective moral rebranding programs for Nigeria youth.
Effective programs equipping themselves early enough. I've seen not even some going to learn salon, how to, cut, trim hair. Especially those people who live around my area. I will see him. I've seen one or two of them after school. He's hurrying. No matter where are you going? He said, I'm going to where I'm learning work. So it gives you, just because I have spoken to them, I have opened their mind. That has given them, that has now motivated them, that it's not all about, waiting, sitting down, putting your hands on in between your laps and thinking that manners will fall from up.
Okay.
Yes, you have to develop it. You have to listen. Read your scripture. Those who are Christians should pick their Bible. There's a whole lot of word of inspiration in the Bible. There's a whole lot of word of inspiration in the Quran. I tell people that in this hair will have is over 1 million. Each one hair. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a secret to this. Each one hair has an idea. Each one hair in your hair. Quote me. Yes, quote me anywhere.
That sounds interesting.
Each one here has one idea. So you will not even exhaust 4 before you die. No. You won't even, before you die, even if you die at the age of 200, you will not exhaust 4. Each one here has one idea God has put in us. So why would you want to go and sit down, think of how to be a criminal? Because when you are thinking of stealing, you are imitating somebody wrongly. I told you, even I am against smoking. There is this pack, the signage they put on cigarette. They say, create your own style and own it, and be a brand master. Just like we have said here, we are creating moral rebranding. We are owning it.
Yeah.
It's our brand. And it's a global. Nobody can imitate it in any part of the world. Nobody. You do that, we'll query you. So sit down, and it's not very late to start anything. The most important thing, how did you end? People wouldn't want to know how you started. I will mean. Some wouldn't even want to know at the middle. What they want to see is the end there. Results.
Absolutely. Everybody wants to see the end result. Rebranding has so much effect, especially on young ones.
Yes.
You mentioned that coming back and seeing that people are not longer just going to school, they are going to learn skills. We've seen that evidently this moral rebranding is creating impact, is creating change. My question is, how can this be sustained? How can it be scaled so that not just these people are impacted, but their children and their children also get impacted? We need to talk about rebranding 26 years. Let's do more rebranding around applause, please.
I took it. I started it. I started it from the village, a town they call Ogoja.
Ogoja.
Yes.
Ogoja.
Yes. Let me tell you the acronym of Ogoja if you don't know.
Wow.
Ogoja stands for Organized Gathering of Jesus Agenda. So
Organized Gathering of what? Jesus Agenda.
So they all started there. The people were like, what does this man wants to do? What is he doing? But today it's becoming a global brand. So, and now the next phase is what I told you now we are doing for sustainability. That's creating this moral rebranding fan club. Are you with me? By doing institutionalize it, everybody will be a member, carrying the handbook. We begin to practice it. It becomes a song, and everybody begin to dance to it.
Oh,
Yes, it becomes a very big song and a brand song. Just like you can sing of our national anthem.
Yeah.
Very soon, people will now start picking. Everybody will tell you, I'm a rebranded Nigerian. Yes, a Nigerian. That's like I told last week. A time will come when somebody will say, no, I am a rebranded. I don't take bribe. I'm giving you services based on my values. So that's how it's going to be. So sustainability we have even started it, putting it on air through the NYC medium. That's what we have now. Is now Matter Day NYC. That's the relationship.
Matter Day what?
NYC.
Should we clap to that? So
Yes.
at Matter Day NYC.
So that's the beginning of sustainability. And it will even grow beyond this. I'm looking forward tomorrow. Clara, you will tell me, oh, I'm in Japan. I'm representing Matter Day. I'm their coordinator.
Representing Matter Day. Japan. I'm moral rebranded.
Yes, so that's how we are going to do it.
So far, so good. We have seen how moral rebranding has been shaping the youth out there. So now I want to know what metrics can be used to evaluate the success of moral rebranding initiatives among the Nigerian youth.
The first phase is on indecent dressing, which is, indecent dressing is an obvious thing. The idea of maybe somebody probably taking pride in office, at times it's not very obvious. It's like an act committed in between two people. Or maybe some people having sexual immorality is an act being committed between two people. And then you go to steal, probably is an act being committed only by you. Because action is towards you. But when it comes to indecent dressing, it's something that is glaring. It's in the public space. Everybody's seeing it. So that's why we have taken the first phase, this first layer of telling Nigerians, please dress very well. Because when you dress indecently, it's deception. When you are not properly dressed, it's deception. Because your dressing identifies where you belong, what you do. You wake up in the morning. Before you set out in the morning, you must know what you want to do and where you are going. And then you will know the kind of dress, because every workplace have a code for dressing. You won't tell me you stop some people at the gate. Oh, I didn't know I was coming to NYC headquarters. You didn't know? Well, please get back. And go and dress. Now you know. And it is not, go back and dress properly and come. So after that, we're taking it phase by phase. That's why the fan club will metamorphose into having a vanguard where we'll give them uniform to be our vanguard. They will be at the gates. They will be at the seaport, checking people who are not properly dressed. We are coming up. So what we need from Nigerians is what? Their cooperation. It's just for a while. It will come to be. So these are the ways we want to measure it. First of all, we're looking at decent dressing, and then we'll look at behavior. And that will also curtail a lot of excessiveness in the society. Like what marveled me, like I told you, in England, was that I left England. I didn't come back with any access. But I know that I learned a lot about morals in UK, because everything there is on autopilot. You go to shopping mall, they line up. Go to bus stop, they line up. You buy fuel, they give you accurate change. People don't. You only communicate in the street with somebody you are working with. You don't even go to ask Claire, what's time? You don't have the right to go and meet anybody and say, what is the time? Meanwhile, you have your time. You have to be yourself. Conduct. Like I said, when we are done with indecent dressing, we are going to enter offices and see regulating timing for office hours. A whole lot of job. A whole lot of things to be done. But I think we'll be good for it after.
Absolutely. The end of moral rebranding. The role of moral rebranding in shaping Nigerian youth. Of course, you've learned a lot. Of course, it's been a wonderful time. This is me officially signing out. This will be my last episode with you all. It's been a good time. It's been a lovely ride.
It was going to be this way.
Oh, God.
Claire, we want to thank you.
Oh, thank you, God.
Claire, I want to say God bless you.
God bless you.
Claire, I want to say you added value to Rebranding Talk Show. You created a lot of innovative. And a lot of people, my friends, will ask me, who is Claire? Thank you very much.
Do you have any final words for me as I officially sign off from the show?
Yes, I think no, but I'm saying that you are going to live. Living doesn't mean you are going to live.
No, I'm still a moral rebranding.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. It's just that maybe once in a while we will invite you.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Victoria, are you not going to do that?
I'm going to show.
Yeah, because I think we'll have Victoria to sit in for you. But we're going to meet you.
Yes. All right.
Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Mr. Matade, director. Thank you, Mr. Sada. Today, you're going to be hearing more of Victoria's voice. Thank you, Samuel, the man behind the camera. I'll show you the reason this show was created. Thank you for being part of our journey all this while. We're celebrating 26 years. We're going to celebrate more years with you as part of the Moral Rebranding team. Once again, my name is Vivian Claire. This is my sign out for Moral Rebranding. See you when I see you. Bye for now.